back to the live case with Dr. Bruno Miglia, who is going to talk about the clinical and cost effectiveness of treating bypass occlusion with Rotarex versus surgery. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Straub Medical for this very kind opportunity to share with you our experience on using these devices, then the mechanical atherectomy with thrombectomy device in a specific setting of patient, like patient with bypass occlusion. My disclosure, first of all, literature data dedicated to evaluate the clinical outcome of patients with bypass occlusion show that, above all in patients with CLTI, this situation is dangerous, is related with a high rate of limb loss between 50–75% at 2 years. We have some different possibilities to treat this very complex patient: open surgery, local thrombolysis, and other percutaneous thrombectomy devices. If you look at open surgery, of course, ruling out the Fogarty thrombectomy due to the no acceptable immediate and later result is based on the redo bypass surgery. But if we consider patients like this with many previous surgical revascularization in the same leg, open surgery, of course, is a very complex, very tricky procedure, is related to high morbidity and also as a poor long-term result in case of not available vein for a new bypass. Therefore, and also based on the result of the 19 clinical trials, local thrombolysis can be regarded as an alternative, a better treatment choice than open surgery. But local thrombolysis is not able to recanalize the subacute, and the chronic occlusion is too slow to restore flow in some patients with a very acute ischemia. And in addition, this recent publication last October showed well that local thrombolysis in patients with bypass failure, in spite of acceptable technical and clinical result, is related to high rate of complication and also high rate of major amputation at 1 year, about 20%. The last possibility is to treat this patient with the percutaneous thrombectomy devices, but the literature data about the use of these devices in patients with bypass failure are few and show some limitation of these devices. The first limitation is that these devices are not very effective in case of chronic occlusion, and the other is that in many patients it needs to use also a lytic agent. Then, based on all this data, we have started to use mechanical atherectomy with thrombectomy in patients with bypass failure, because Rotarex S, combining the rotating helix and the rotating head, is able to recanalize, to remove the acute thrombus, but also is able to, with Rotarex, we are able to obtain the fragmentation and the removal of the chronic thrombotic material, and also of the intimal hyperplasia at the anastomotic level. And then with Rotarex it's possible to recanalize every type of bypass, like this biosynthetic, prosthetic, above-the-knee bypass, or this more complicated below-the-knee vein biosynthetic and composite bypass. Now, after this introduction about the possibility to treat this patient, I'm really proud to present here the result of our study. The purpose of this study is to compare open surgery and mechanical atherectomy with thrombectomy, defined as MATH, in patients with acute, subacute, and chronic bypass occlusion, and taking into account not only the clinical outcome in this patient, patient, but also the treatment costs. These are our clinical and cost endpoints, and in addition, we perform the cost-effectiveness analysis. This cost-effectiveness analysis is the ratio between the cost of health gain and the gain in health. This in order to eventually identify a possible dominant therapy. We analyze a continuous series of 48 occluded bypass treated in our department, 17 with open surgery and 31 with MAF. If you look at this table, there are no differences in demographic and characteristic in comorbidities. The only difference is in gender distribution, because in the open surgical group, all patients are male. Also, these two cohorts of patients are completely homogeneous if you consider the Rutherford classification, all patients with CLTI and many of them with tissue loss. No differences in period of occlusion, more than 70% of the patients with a subacute or chronic occlusion that then not available for local thrombolysis, and also homogeneous these two cohorts of patients regarding the site of the distal anastomosis of the bypass, more than 50% with a more complicated bypass than below the knee bypass. Another important point is this: on average, this patient had about 3 previous surgical revascularization in the same leg, then are very complicated to retreat with open surgery. Now, considering the treatment in the open surgical group, most of patients are were treated with redo bypass surgery, and in the MAF group with Rotarex, we used Aspirex S only in 2 cases with an acute occlusion of a vein bypass. There are 3 significant differences: the duration of operation, that is about the half in the MAF group, blood transfusion, and the length of hospitalization, that is about 1/3 in the MAF group. If you look at the follow-up, the reocclusion rate are similar, and the primary hypothesis is quite acceptable and is in line with the literature data when we consider redo surgery or local thrombolysis in this very subgroup of complex patients. The only difference is in the duration of the time in the duration of our patency, then the time of reocclusion, that is significantly longer after MAF than after open surgery. Again, considering the follow-up, no differences in limb salvage rate, in death rate, and the limb salvage rate at 1 year is quite good. Is about 90% of patients in a group of patients all with CLTI. The second part of this study is dedicated to the cost evaluation. In this table, we summarize the cost, but if we consider separately the intraoperative and the postoperative period, in the intraoperative period, the MAF is more expensive due to the cost of the device, but if we consider the postoperative period, MAF is significantly less expensive than open surgery, and this is due to the less IQ stay, but above all, the faster discharge. And applying the cost-effectiveness analysis, of course, MAF is a dominant therapy. Then, the take-home message of our study, considering all limitation of this study, is that MAF and then mechanical atherectomy with thrombectomy can be considered the first-line treatment in this very complex patient, because of course it's less invasive than open surgery, is less time consuming, is less expensive, and producing greater benefit with a longer reocclusion time. Thank you a lot.